Another Brick Fan here with a Harry Potter review. This is 4 Privet Drive. This is set 75968. Was released in August 2020, has 797 pieces, 6 minifigures, and cost about $70 when it was released. This is a great update of the set 4728, Escape from Privet Drive, which was released in 2002. I'll put a picture up here on the screen. It's based on the Chamber of Secrets, in other words, the second movie in the series. Lots of nice playability in this set. Of course, we have the car here. This is another version of this car. I think this is the third, maybe even fourth version of this car. There was one in the newer releases of Harry Potter in the Whomping Willow set. It's kind of a continuation of this set because this is where the trip started, where they broke Harry out of the Dursleys' house and then took him to Hogwarts and then crashed into the Whomping Willow. So these two sets complement each other pretty well. This car is designed a little bit differently than the car from that set, however. It does fit both minifigures, but they have to sit back to back. In other words, front to back in this. The doors do open, which is nice. And then inside of the trunk here, we have space for a suitcase and then this chain, which is actually connected inside of the car. And this allows them to go and attach that to the side of the building. Let's get the minifigures out of the way here. So this can be attached to the bars on the window here, as you see, and then you can pull the car away, which pulls the window off and allows Harry to escape like they did in the movie. So nice play feature there. As far as the rest of the car goes, see that the trunk fits everything in there. We have the turn signals up here with the trans orange cheese wedges and then round tiles here in trans red for the brake lights. Small wheels on here, trans yellow for the headlights. Overall, a good representation of the car. It looks pretty similar to the one we saw in the Whomping Willow set with a little bit of difference. I'll put a picture of the one up in the Whomping Willow set up here on the screen. Looking into the main build itself, you see I've got Hedwig. This is a new mold of Hedwig with her wings open. And I just had her up here on the top of the building. Moving in a little closer, you can see some nice details on the front of the house here. It's got these nice windows here on the first and second floor. I like the way they did this bush here with a bunch of stud on the side pieces and then these leaf pieces here to create this bush effect. A small little flower garden here, another flower here, and then on either side of the doorway. The door has this really nice sticker, which gives this nice 6-panel look with a knocker, and then of course the mail slot stuffed with envelopes. The doorbell, I would say, has a number 4 on it because this is for Privet Drive, a small light here. I like the downspouts they did here, and they kind of line up, and you see they have this gray here, which would indicate the gutters that go across the house. I thought that turned out very nicely. Looking on the side here, you have some good brick texturing in here, a little bit of other textures going on in here. There is a feature here where if we pull on this lamp, you can now see the inside of the closet under the stairs where Harry lives. You can see inside the closet there's a shovel and a broom, and then of course a little bed where he can sleep. So that was where Harry originally slept, but of course by this time he was up in that bedroom on the second floor. So speaking of that, let's take a look on the back here of the model. Looking at the back of the model, there's some nice things here. You see if you look closely all the way in there at the door, you can see that looks like Vernon has put a board over the mail slot to prevent any of those mail coming in. So this can be used either as a year 1 or a year 2 model because there is a gear here you might have noticed behind this little house plant. And if you turn this, it actually opens up and you see these male pieces come flying out through the chimney or from the chimney through the fireplace. So that's a fun play feature as well. Looking inside here, there's a little tiny door here. It's kind of difficult to get to, but this does open. And there you have the door into the closet under the stairs where Harry lived in year 1. They did do a nice little rug here in this dark red, surrounded by the nougat. The couch and large chair here are done in that lavender color. Looking up to the second floor, now this is more of year 2 references. So there's a bed here for Harry. There's a desk, so a little chair and a desk here. He has a Hogwarts picture up here above his desk. There's a couple more there's a couple more stickers or printed pieces in with this set as well. So let's take a look at some of those. This is a picture of Lily and James Potter that goes on Harry's desk. Next to his bed, we have this printed piece of the Daily Prophet of the Boy Who Lived. So this print has been around for a while, but still looks good. And above the fireplace, we have this 2x3 tile with a picture of the Dursleys on it. Harry Potter is obviously missing from this photo. These letters that I showed you with the action feature before slide into this slot right here on the side. You have to make sure you close. It's either the flue or the fireplace is either open or closed, so make sure that's closed before loading those back in. I already showed you the action feature where the window comes off and allows Harry to escape. And then I do like the way the roof was done with these alternating slopes. You see the slopes are offset by one stud. So each and every one is one stud off. So you get 2 layers, which creates this really nice effect here for the house. Let's go ahead and take a look at the minifigures now. This set includes 6 minifigures, which include Ron Weasley, Harry Potter, Dobby, and the Dursley family with Vernon, Petunia, and Dudley. Let's take a look at the first 3. So we have Ron here on the left, Harry in the middle, and then Dobby on the right-hand side. You notice all of these have the short legs. So the short legs on all of these. Ron has the brown legs with a kind of a tan sweater with a red shirt underneath. His signature red hair, a little grin on his face there, and you can just make out some red freckles on his face. Harry's wearing, it looks like to me, kind of like a plaid shirt here. At least it looks plaid in the front. Obviously the sides are that dark red. He's wearing a blue shirt underneath that. Of course, has a little part in his hair up here, so you can see the scar on his forehead. And then Dobby has this nice mold for his head, which looks good. It's kind of a softer material, so his ears do bend a little bit. And then he's wearing kind of a sack of some kind as his clothing. And then his legs actually are dual colored, so they actually have a print here, it looks like, that matches really well up with the shirt that he's wearing, or the sack that he's wearing. Moving around the figures, there's no side printing on any of these. But then you have good printing on the back here of Dobby. You have that continuation of that plaid pattern for Harry. And then Ron, you see the stripes on his sweater. Alternate expressions. Here's Ron looking a little more scared. And of course, Harry also looking a little bit scared as well. Obviously, Dobby does not have an alternate expression. Let's take a look at the Dursleys. Here we have the Dursley family. So Vernon is there on the left, Dudley in the middle, and then Petunia over here on the right. All three of these figures are exclusive to this set, and I think they all look very good. So Vernon is wearing his sweater here with a nice pattern on the front, a collared shirt underneath. I think his hair is a little grayer than I remember from the movies, but I don't object to this. I think it looks like it's a really good color and a nice hairpiece. No printing on any of the legs of these. Dudley's also wearing a collared shirt and a sweater. I do like the pattern here on the front of that as well. He's got kind of that mischievous grin on his face there. Petunia is wearing a button-up shirt that's got these leaf patterns on it. I think she turned out nicely, and I like the darker hairpiece for her. One thing that's not conveyed in these minifigures is, that Vernon and Dudley were both pretty big people, and Petunia was quite slender, but that obviously the minifigures are all kind of the same size. No printing, interestingly, on the back of Vernon's sweater here, but Dudley continues that kind of diamond pattern here in the back. Petunia also has the leaves continuing on the back printing for her. As far as alternate expressions go, here's Vernon looking a little bit more stern, I would say. Dudley's got kind of a scared expression on his face, and then Petunia has what I would call a disapproving look on her face. She's kind of closed mouth or tight-lipped there. So there we have all of the minifigures that come with this set. Let's go back and I'll give you my final thoughts on the entire set. A couple of final things to point out. There is this nice cake piece, and it's put on a clear antenna piece. So this is where Dobby levitates the cake to get Harry in trouble. And then there is a sign here for Privet Drive. And there is a owl on here, presumably one of the owls that was delivering the letters to Harry, his invites to Hogwarts. And then just to get a closer look quickly at this new Hedwig piece. So here is Hedwig with her open wings. Overall, I like this set. I like the fact that it fits into both year 1 and year 2 of the Harry Potter story. It was nice to get the entire Dursley family included with this, so I think 6 minifigures is a really good value for a $70 set. And it does have close to 800 pieces, so I think overall the value is really good on this set. One thing that I think is a little odd is the fact that Harry Potter in this set is different than the Harry Potter that comes with the Whomping Willow set. Although it's always nice to get a new version of Harry Potter, it probably would have made sense for that to be more consistent, because obviously they pick him up here and then they drive him to Hogwarts. So the Ron figure is exactly the same as the one that we saw in the Whomping Willow set. I hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on this Harry Potter set. I'm going to get started on my next video. And until then, happy building. If you enjoyed this review, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to my channel. I've left a link to my other Harry Potter reviews up here on the screen.